Hello guys, welcome on this new Coach Dave Academy Lab Guide. I'm Corentin Guinez, and today we are with the AMG GT4 around Imola for the week 5 of the Falcons podcast series. As usual, first I'm gonna go with the hot lap, and then we're gonna go into more details about the car and the track. So yep, let's get started. Alright guys, so here we go for the lap with the AMG GT4 around Imola. So here is the long start finish line. And then we have the first corner, which is the first chicane. So basically, as a braking reference, I'm just using the exit road, which is maybe 150, I would say, because you have the 150 just behind. So I would say 150. Around 150, just going on the brakes. So just trying to put the car straight for the braking. It's way better, and the car will brake much better, also be much more stable. And then I will try to keep a bit of a margin, maybe 80 or 90% on the brakes. Just staying with third gear, it's the smoothest way to make the first chicane. And then as you can see, just trying to avoid a bit the first one. So then I can make sure that the car is very stable for the next right-hander. Because then if you take the first big curbing, first big sausage, then the car will be unstable for the rest of the chicane, which is not ideal, I would say, for the exit. And because you will ruin basically all the momentum. So as you can see, going back again, just dropping the third gear, just trying to release a bit to find the rotation, making it just on the first curbing, the red and white curbing, then going back on power at that point, and then just going over the first sausage. The car remains very stable on this first on the one of the on the right end of the chicane. The sausage is okay, but like I said before, if you take the first sausage of the left one, then it can be a bit tricky on this one. So then you find, then just go flat out, just taking this sausage as well to shorten the distance, and then you can run all of the curbing on this one. Then we approach the second fast chicane. So basically, you looking at the 50 board on the right side on the fence, and then just going on the brakes at that point, just using around 50%, not too much because I need to keep a lot of momentum. It's pretty much from that point that I gonna brake more, I would say, or I'm gonna brake harder, I would say. So then just on the brakes, trying to just find the rotation, slowing down a bit the car as well, because I still need to slow down a bit the car. Then trying to go as straight as I can, I would say. I mean, basically cannot go completely straight, because if you go straight, you go basically on the gravel. But the idea there is to put the less steering input possible when you go on the scabbings, because then you can make sure that the car remains quite stable. So as you can see, still on the brakes, just leaving the base as soon as the car is not on the ground, because then I can make sure that I'm gonna go on the brake when the car lands back on the track. So as you can see, car is back on the track, just going on the brakes, still a bit on the brake to find the rotation and slowing down still a bit the car, and then I'm gonna go to the right using all of the curbing. Still need to find a bit of a still need to keep a bit of a margin, I would say, on this one. So basically, just avoid to go with your left wheels on the red and white curbing. Basically, I think it's the limit on this one. Or maybe you have rules there, but they won't say anything interesting, I would say. I guess so. Yeah, they're not saying anything about the track limits. But for me, I think if you stay like this, you're fine. But if you go with your left wheels, maybe on the right side of this white line, then you're gonna get the. I think it's a slowdown. So yeah, it's the best way is just to make sure that you're not greedy on this one and keep it safe. And then I'm gonna go back into the cockpit. And then, as you can see, early on power just a bit before going on the curbing, early on power. And then as the track limits, it's gonna be the right wheels on the red and white. Then as soon as you leave this curbing with your right wheels, you're gonna get the off track. So as you can see, like this, it's safe. Then for Tosa, the European just need to go to the right side. Just gonna use the 50-meter board, and I'm just gonna brake slightly after. So I guess it will match the end of the exit road, which is on the right. So basically, as soon as I'm going past this thing, so it's basically, I think, I don't know if it matched the 50 board or not, but I guess it's maybe 1 or 2 meters after the 50 board. Then I'm gonna go on the brakes, trying to stay a bit wider so then I can have a tight exit, dropping to second. Then as you can see, having a late apex, and then from there I can have the steering a bit more straight than if you go basically from the start to the apex, you're gonna have to run a lot of steering angle, like a longer time on the steering angle, I would say. But then if you have a late apex, you can just open the steering on the exit and then have a better traction. And that's what I did on this lap. So basically, just stay with second. With the GT4, it's pretty good to have the steering straight on the exit, but I guess it's the same for most of the cars. But still, with the GT4, I felt that it has a big impact. So yeah, just had a very good exit by doing that. And then for the exits, it's not really necessary to run really wide. Like as soon as you keep at least your left wheels on the curbing, or maybe at least on the white line. At least I think it's a bit more on the white line than on the curbing. Yeah, it's actually a bit on the curbing, but yeah, like this, it's fine. But like I said, you don't need to run like a lot wide out of this one. Then we approach this very fast left, so basically using the 50 board. Once again, just gonna break 1 or 2 meters like Tosa after this board. Then gonna go heavily on the brakes at the beginning, but then need to release pretty quickly to find the rotation, and also because you have to keep a lot of momentum, a lot of speed for this one. Just running the curb on the inside, but not too much, because then it's it's kind of big. So then if I use all of it, it may unsettle the car a bit on the exit. So that's why I'm using a bit of the edge of this one, or maybe at least just maybe the first half of the curbing. And then just going early on power to still find the momentum. Just staying away from I don't know what it is. I think it's Astro or something. But yeah, if you go too wide exit of this one, it's gonna be an off track. So just make sure that when you go back on power, you have to make sure you are not too wide and you won't have a big understeer at some point. But like this, it's fine. Just using the decent amount of track on the exit, then just going back on the left side just to make it tighter and just shortening a bit the distance. So as you can see on the left, and now we approach the most, I think maybe the most difficult section of all the tracks for me, in my opinion, because you have with a lot of speed, and at the same time you have to have the very good amount, the perfect amount of braking. So yeah, for me it's very difficult to nail. So what I'm doing for the Aqua Minerale is that I'm using the 50 board on the left side. So that's what defines my braking and also the turning in. So basically starting to turn in on the brakes, but as you can see, I can't put too much brakes, because then if I put too much brakes, then I will go straight with the ABS, or I can also lose the car. For me, there is more chance that I go in the ABS and then I go too wide on the grass, and then on the runoff. So for me, I think around 35 to 40% is good on the entry. And then, as you can see, I will try to hold it a bit. At that point, when I need to put a bit more steering angle, or at least when I'm close to the curbing, at that point I need to keep it roll a bit because I need to keep the momentum. Like if I stay all the way on the brakes, then I won't have the momentum to make it to the last bit of the of Aqua Minerale. So basically just staying a bit on the brake, then just a tiny bit before the entering the curbing, I'm just gonna lift a bit, then going back on the brake when I'm just going over this curbing and runoff. It's kind of runoff, I will call it, but yeah, I will call all of this as curbing. And then when I'm going back on this, just going back on the brake, like almost the same amount I've put it just before lifting the brake. And then as you can see, just putting more amount of braking because now the car is almost fully straight. And then it's just about slowing down enough the car, using the curbing, so then I can open the corner. And then at that point, I will just release the brakes to find the rotation. And from now, I need to go back on power because as you can see, it's going fully uphill. So if I stay on the brakes, basically, I will just have no speed on the exit. So yeah, the thing there is to just release the brakes, find the rotation, and then with the power, I can find as well the rotation and find the speed. So that's really the way to make it on power out of Aqua Minerale. And then the idea there is to just stay with the right wheels on the curbing. If you go too wide, if you go with the right wheels away from this curbing, then you're gonna get the off track. But like this, it's fine. So just going back again. And one thing is to avoid as well the sausage. Just try to avoid it because then it makes the car really sketchy. So on the curbing, on power, trying to find the rotation and the speed on the exit. Again on the curbing. So that's it for the Aqua Minerale. And then we approach the last big chicane of the track and basically going all the way on the left side, just using the 50-meter board. But this time you do a bit the opposite. You brake like maybe 1 or 2 meters before. And what I'm using is that you have some kind of bright tarmac just right there. I don't know what it is, but for me it feels like there is like a different color on the ground, and that's what I'm using. And yeah, that's why I told you that I think it's maybe 1 or 2 meters before. So as you can see, just right there, as you can see, for me it feels slightly different, I would say. So as soon as I'm getting very close of this thing, I'm just gonna go on the brakes. So as you can see, I'm putting like it's a very big braking zone. I need to really slow down the car. And also because most of the time you try to make it safe. For example, if it's quali, you can try to really send it and brake late and trying to find the rotation and stuff. But yeah, for me, there I decided to go a bit safer because I didn't want it to get the off track to have a clean lap. So yeah, that's why I braked a bit earlier as well. But yeah, the thing there is that you can brake at that point if you're really sure if you're sure of yourself. But yeah, if you want to make safe, sometimes it's a bit better to brake maybe like half a meter or so, just to make sure you will make the corner without overshooting a bit the entry of the chicane. So on the brakes, as you can see, just trying to avoid a bit the ABS by going 100% on the brake. And then I will turn in as soon as I'm seeing that I'm not how to say that um I mean, yeah, I think I have the reference actually by seeing this. So you have the three lights. Actually, I'm doing a bit this part by instincts, so that's why it's a bit difficult to tell you something about this one. But actually, I'm seeing that you have the lights on top, and it seems like it's matching the moment when I'm turning in. So it does match the moment when I'm turning in. So I would say that if you don't have any reference at the moment about turning in on this one, I would say that you can maybe look at this, and as soon as it's going on top of the windshield, you can start to turn in. Yeah, as you can see, turning in as soon as I'm under the three lights. Then at that point, I'm turning in, just releasing a bit the brake to find the rotation. And that's where it gets tricky, just about to find the limit. And it seems like it's I don't know what's the limit really. I guess it's when the half of the car is on this sausage, the big sausage. Like I would say that if this right half of the car is on the sausage, you will get the off track. But yeah, if you put just the 3 wheels on the curbing without taking much risk, and if you put the right wheels close to the middle of the sausage, it's fine. But yeah, it's tough to really give a limit. But I would say that yeah, if you do it, if you do what I said, it should be fine. And then it's almost the same for the exit. Just make sure that you are not too tight on this one. Just make sure you are a bit tight on the exit of the first one. So then you can make sure that you can run without issue the exit of the chicane, and you have a nice traction and nice exit as well. So then for me, I guess it's exactly the same. I think I'm using almost the same amount on the entry, and on the exit maybe a bit less on the exit, but yeah, you always want to make it safe and not get the slowdown. So yeah, this is a safe way to make it. So John, just seeing at the pedal inputs now. So as you can see, out of the first curbing, I'm just stop using the brake because I need to find the momentum and because the car is slow enough, I would say. So then just going on the curbing, and from now just leaving the brake and then just trying to play a bit with the throttle to find the traction. And for the exit, just make sure you can stay with the left wheels on the red and white curbing. And now we're gonna go into the last 2 corners, or maybe the last 3 corners if you include this kink. So on the left of the track, then moving down to the right side of the track, trying to run close to the curbing. And then I'm just using the 100-meter board, so it's a bit tough to show you when I'm braking. But yeah, basically at this exact point, the 100 board is on my right screen, so it's basically the time when I cannot see the curbing and when I'm starting to brake. So as you can see on the right side of the track, the 100-meter board is away of the main screen, and then just going on the brake, trying to avoid the ABS to just basically not go straight and find the rotation. And then as soon as I'm seeing this white line. I don't know if you can see it or not. I don't know if it's a bug from on my sim or not. I don't know. But when I'm close to this line, I'm just gonna turn in, just trying to take all of the curb on the inside. Just try to do not be too greedy, I would say, on the inside, because then you can get an off track. I already got it once, so yeah, just make sure that you're not too greedy. On the brakes, just releasing to find the rotation, and then as soon as I'm on the curbing, need to go on the power to find the rotation on the exit and also the traction, and to make sure I can find my speed again. Then for the exit of the between the two left-handers as a track limit, I guess that's the left wheels, and if you keep your left wheels on the red and white curbing, you're fine. And it helps actually because it helps to set the last corner. So basically using this curbing, just using a bit of braking on the entry just to slow down a bit the car. Then you're with the second gear, do not run too much the curbing on the insides. That's the same. Try to keep your right wheels away from the curbing. This one, because then you can get you will get the slowdown of the off track. I don't know. I think it should be an off track, but it can also be enough slowdown if you're too greedy. So yeah, just stay away of the curbing with the right wheels, and then I will just short shifting to just make sure I have a very good traction with it, and then just using the curbing on my left wheels as a track limit. And yeah, now that's it for the lap. You just have that straight, just trying to shorten the distance by running close to the guardrail, and then you stay as close as you can from the right side, but obviously you won't run like at 1 centimeter of the wall, but yeah, just stay on the right side of the wall. And you cross the line, and that's it for the lap with the AMG GT4 around Imola. Okay guys, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this video and you learned a bit from it as well. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel and join the Discord server if you have any questions about the work we are making, and I see you for week 6. Bye bye.